You are listening to the Horse Radio Network, part of the Equine Network family.
This is episode 759 of the Dressage Radio Show on the Horse Radio Network, brought to you by Kentucky Performance Products. The Dressage Radio Show is the official podcast of the United States Dressage Federation. On today's show, we chat with Laura Mollrich, who is the first para rider to accomplish the Dressage Foundation Century Ride. We have two great tips for you from Nicole Harrington on downtime with horses and Jessica Gaston on what she does for the holidays. This is Reese Koffler-Stanfield in Georgetown, Kentucky.
And I am Megan McIsaac from Oregon, Wisconsin, and you're listening to the Dressage Radio Show.
Hi, Megan. How are you?
I'm great, but how are you? You sound terrible.
Everybody, I apologize. I sound terrible. I actually feel a little better than I have been feeling. It got cold, and my body doesn't apparently do cold. So
Nope.
Nope. It's time to head south, my body is telling me. So yeah, I've got a little bit of a cold. So I'm going to throw it to you because you have some exciting news that you've just started, right?
Yeah, it's a cool, exciting new thing for me. This old dog is learning new tricks. It's a YouTube channel, which, like I said, I know nothing about, and it's called Barn Besties. But when you search us, you have to look up Barnyard Besties, Wisconsin. And the whole goal is, it's two friends, Stephanie and I, we've gotten together and we went over our farms and we're sharing what we've done wrong, and the tips and tricks that may help people. And we've been visiting a lot of farms, and I hope we grow into, talking about business plans, permits, mental health, and just discussing what it's like to develop a farm and all the ins and outs. And we hope to save people time and money.
I love this so much. You were able to come visit me. It was super fun. We did some videos. So you can see my farm. I'm on Barn Besties, which I love.
Yes.
So much fun.
I
love this idea.
4 parts of Reese's farm, and we could have done even more. And it's just such a blast because I love going to other people's farms, seeing how you've done it. You inspired me on storage, and I love your arena and also having the stalls. So we just want to share and build a community to help everyone who's building a farm or who has built a farm, and you're not alone. And
I love it.
Yeah,
I wish this was out here when I built a farm, because that's like that is such a huge thing. And I love it because you can reach everybody in the equine industry, not just dressage. This is everybody.
It's for everyone, and discussing all of the things. It's for every discipline. It's how to handle horses, what's safe, what's not. Yeah. And also I think it's really fun to see how other disciplines do things. Also, the dairy industry has some great ideas, not all, and also sharing what's not good. Right. It would have saved me a lot of money.
Oh, so much time and energy. Yeah. I love it.
So hopefully it'll really grow into something big, and it'll be a resource for all horse owners, horse lovers. So there's been some pretty amazing tips. So I can't wait to share it. So come and check it out.
I love it. So how can we find it one more time?
Yeah, we are on Facebook under Barn Besties, but please go to our YouTube channel. You can Google Barn Besties, but the handle is called Barnyard Besties WI, Wisconsin. So come check us out, and there's some funny, goofy videos, have some laughs, but also use us as a resource.
Love it. Love it. Oh my gosh. I'm literally following you right now on Facebook. This is so great. I love it. So everybody, let's join with Megan, because it's so cool. And I mean, as we go through our journey together, we want to be supportive of everybody. So I absolutely love it. Well, we've also got some great stories today, and we're going to get right to it after this break from Kentucky Performance Products.
This Nutritional Minute is brought to you by Kentucky Performance Products. Biotin is a B vitamin and has become commonplace in feed rooms across the world because of its reputation as an effective hoof supplement. An interesting fact that was discovered by researchers looking at biotin's impact on hoof quality was that horses with normal blood levels of biotin still had poor quality hoof horn, and that despite normal blood levels, horses responded to high doses of biotin given orally. This tells us that unhealthy hooves are not necessarily a result of a deficiency. Over the years, multiple other studies have found a statistically significant improvement in overall hoof condition when horses are supplemented with at least 20 milligrams of biotin per day. Researchers found that if improvement in hoof quality was seen within 8 to 15 months of supplementation, the horse would need to remain on biotin the rest of its life to maintain that improvement. Other nutrients such as zinc, methionine, and iodine can also affect hoof quality. A well-balanced hoof supplement will contain all of these nutrients in addition to the 20 milligrams of biotin per serving. When you're looking for an affordable, effective hoof supplement, we recommend Caraform Hoof and Coat Supplement. If you want a show ring shine and strong, healthy hooves, you can count on Caraform. You can learn more about Caraform at kppusa.com. Got questions about your feeding program? We can help. Email Karen at questions@kppusa.com or call us at 859-873-2974.
Well, tonight we are so happy to have Laura Mollrich from California. She is just won and was the first classified para-dressage rider to win or perform the Century Club for the Dressage Foundation. Laura, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate this.
This is so exciting. Well, we picked up your article. We were at finals and I saw Jenny from the Dressage Foundation and I was asking her and she said, this was so cool. So Laura, tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right. I have been in love with horses since I knew what they were. And that's basically looking out my front door. When I was a little girl, I think I was about 6 years old, and I lived out in the country, and people would ride up and down the street with their horses. And I used to cry, oh, Mom, I want a horse so bad. And back then, we didn't have Breyer dolls and horses, and so what I used to do was my mom would buy me magazines with horses in them, and I would cut them out, and I'd tape them up to the wall above my bed.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, and so they were with me all the time and through the night when I slept. So horses have always been my first love.
Tell us about your partner, your current horse.
Okay, I have two actually.
Awesome, that's the best way to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, well, Pabatsa is, he's 27 and a half. I bought him when he had just turned 8 years. He had just come in from Holland, and I bought him from farm up in Woodinville, Washington, Northwest Dressage. And the woman that owned Northwest, I'm not really sure if she still does, but she said, Laura, I've got a boy that's coming in, and I think you ought to come up and see him. So my husband bought plane tickets, and we took a woman with us that was a trainer at the stable where I boarded originally. And the three of us went up there, and I fell in love with him. He's just got this aura around him, and he was very calm. It was opening day hunt season, and you could hear it was out in the country. Gosh. And even though I was in a covered enclosed arena, you could hear the guns. And here I am riding him, and you hear this boom, boom, right? And so what?
Yeah.
So
good.
So my husband figured, okay, this is a good one. He's not going to be bothered.
Yeah, we like that. Exactly.
Yeah, so he wrote the check, and home he came to San Juan Capistrano.
Awesome. And how long?
He's been with me ever since.
How long have you had him?
It's 20 years.
Oh, wow.
20 years last month. Yeah. 20 years. And he actually, I have to tell you, quite frankly, I was coming off of being housebound for about 2 years plus. I had epilepsy really, really bad. I'd gone through chemotherapy for a year. I had lupus cerebritis, which it was attacking my brain.
Oh, my.
So, I'm sitting in the house, and finally, when things calmed down a couple years later, I told my husband, I want a horse.
Yep.
And I don't know why, but I just said that. And so we went out looking, and I found a horse, but I didn't know what I was doing. At the time before that, I was riding Western. So I got me a Western horse, and I kept him for about a year because what was going on at the stable at that time were all these beautiful dressage horses and riders. And I thought, wow, I want to do that. Well, you can't really do it on a quarter horse that much.
Yeah.
At least not him. Yeah. Anyway,
yeah.
I mean, they're out there and they can do it, but he wasn't the one.
When did you decide to go for the Century Ride? And explain that to everybody what that is, just so they know what that is.
All right. The Dressage Foundation has what they call their Century Ride. And they're basically a 501c3, and they take donations and contributions. And this allows them to give grants that they have set out for up-and-coming people and people with dreams of being something in dressage. So it's a great cause. And last year, on my mare that I have, I was the 2023 Rider of the Year, USDF, Adequan USDF Rider of the Year.
Amazing.
Grade 4 para. And my mare was grade 4 champion Holsteiner Brabant.
Wow.
So we went to, thank you. So, and we are again this year. So last year, my husband and I went to Omaha for the Adequan USDF Convention and Awards Gala. Awesome. So we met everybody there, and I met the ladies at TDF, and we talked a bunch, and they told me all about this Century Ride. And my husband and I have been pretty avid sponsors for the Olympics, the Paralympics, every show that I showed this past year, and there were 6 of them, we've donated to, and we've sponsored arenas and that sort of thing. But anyway, I don't have children. We couldn't have children, so horses are what we donate to.
I love it.
The Century Ride is a good cause, and I just believe in it. And I can't wait to see the ladies this next month and at the.
I know it. In Omaha. It's going to be so fun. No, not Omaha. Houston. Wrong place. Everybody, conventions in Houston. Sorry. Wrong place.
Yeah, we're going.
Awesome.
We'll be there. So
well,
I can't wait.
I can't wait to meet you. And I have to say, I love your quote. I don't have time to stop. I just am going to keep going. And so what are your future plans?
Well, I've already done one show for 2025.
Wow. All right. Good girl.
Yeah. I did the Del Mar Halloween dressage show.
Oh, fun.
And I got one qualifying score. And so I need one more. I do grade 4 Grand Prix. Awesome. And so I need to do one more to qualify for year end, and then do a total of 4 shows. So I've got 3 more to go.
Fantastic.
So that's my goal.
We are so excited and thankful for your time tonight, and you're just an inspiration. That's why we saw your article and we had to have you on the show. So thank you so much for coming on the show. And oh my goodness, I'm going to see you in Houston, but also catch up with you and see how your whole journey next year as well. So congratulations on a great year.
Thank you very, very much. I really appreciate it. And I can't wait.
Well, tonight we are so happy to have Nicole Harrington, international dressage rider and trainer based out of Ohio, and a good friend of mine and Megan's. Nicole, welcome back to the show.
Hi.
Hi. Well, it's December now, and it's that time of the year. The holidays are coming up, and we were talking about this off air, and I don't think we've had this discussion about downtime for horses. And I just thought this would be a great one to talk about. So Nicole, start us off on this sort of roundtable of how do you give your horses downtime? What's your thought on that?
I think it's well needed for all horses. I really like to give my horses some time here and there. It doesn't have to be a tremendous amount of time, a week or two, longer for some horses, but I think it's just like us. They need vacations and they need refreshers. It just helps their body relax and come back to where it needs to be, and then start over, and then you can build some new muscles. Versus if the horses are going all the time, they get burnt out. They need a vacation just like we do.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And you and I, and Megan, you are in California. Like, our horses are a lot of times kind of doing a season all of the time. Mm-hmm. And I don't know about you guys, but like, I kind of try to pick one or the other. Like, I try to say, okay, I'm going to show in Florida and train in Kentucky, or I'm going to do it the opposite way. Like, I try not to, I try to give some blocks of time that I know, okay, I'm going to be really focused on showing, or I'm going to be really focused on training. Yeah. And I typically, it's so hot here in July that it's usually my family goes on a beach vacation every July. It sort of happened my entire life. So I kind of look at July as being our time for a little downtime. So when I'm on vacation, the horses get a little bit of time off. They get to hang out and relax. And then I typically will, as we're settling into sort of Florida or into back home when we travel, I usually give them not quite a week, but I give them a few days for sure to get over the travel and get into the new routine. And that's kind of what I do. Megan, what do you do?
Like, for instance, for nationals, I gave them 2 days off. And this week it's like slow, long and low work. When we don't have rain, we're going to go out on the trail. Yep. My small tour horse, I actually gave her 3 days off after regionals, and she was wild. She doesn't want downtime, but she's getting like very slow, no collection, long and low. That's her version of downtime because she's an overachiever. Or I do lunging or even light jumping with them. What about you, Nicole?
I kind of take it again by horse basis. Yeah. It depends on their age bracket. It depends on what they mentally need. One of my younger horses in my program, although he's a 7-year-old this year, this was his first show season ever because he was imported last year and had never shown or done anything. And so like after regionals, he had like 4 or 5 days off just because we were there from Wednesday through Sunday. And, I judge the horse. And when they start coming to the stall or coming to the paddock gate and saying, hey, I'm ready, then I say, okay, it's time to go back to work. And I feel like then they want to go to the horse show. If they come home and they're put right back into the grind day after day, they're like, why do I want to do this? Versus if they like to show, they're going to go out there and show off for you. So.
Well, and I don't know about you guys, but I might have come back really spoiled from the show. Like, I try to give them treats. I try to spend extra time with them. I try to give extra snuggles and grooms. And I want them to like, oh, I really like horse showing, or, oh, I really like going to clinics. Yeah. I try to make it fun because I think we all do forget, like, it is actually supposed to be fun to go to the show. I mean, whoa, novel concept, but it is supposed to be fun. And I want the horses to enjoy going and being with us. And like you said, Nicole, like, not make it this horrible thing where they're like, this isn't fun. Like, I don't like it. So I'm kind of like you. I do know my eventers, a lot of my event horses will get a significant block of time off in the fall. But that's kind of trained into them from the time they're little. They really give them, they'll do a big event and then they'll get 2 or 3 weeks off or a month off. But those horses are like marathon runners.
Right.
I have found with dressage horses, like, giving them more than a couple days. And I'm with Nicole, like, I kind of watch them and see when they're coming to the gate or seeing when they're But like in general, my horses, they don't understand like they don't understand. They're like, did I do something wrong? Like that I'm not getting played with every day?
That's the way mine are. That's why I choose to do like less intense trail riding, just, slow, easy, maybe even walk work. But I slow it down and the intensity isn't there, but they don't like it. My horse, AJ, he'll pound on the stall. If I try to give him too many days off, he's like, where are you? And why are you not giving me attention?
Yeah. Yeah. And with the holidays coming up, I don't know what you guys do over the holidays, but I do try to give them a couple days. Sometimes actually like over Thanksgiving, I actually give them their vaccinations that week. So I've always kind of done that. I try to give them vaccination actually Wednesday before Thanksgiving. So Thursday, there is no feeling bad that they have off. Like the barn is quiet. Everyone's not feeling so good. And then Friday, again, a lot of times I'll take that day off as well. So they'll get a little break over Thanksgiving. My family comes into town and it's my brother and his girls, and I don't see them that often. So I really do try to spend time and then I don't feel bad. I'm like, the horses were just vaccinated. They are fine. So that's one thing I do over the holidays. And then over Christmas, my sister and I like to go on a Christmas trail ride, actually. So if we can, like we do, but sometimes now it's a little bit more complicated with all the family stuff. But usually Christmas Eve, my sister and I go on a ride together, and my niece comes over. She likes to ride my big horse, Bingo. So one of the things that we do, over the holidays. How about you guys? What do you do over the holidays?
For me, it kind of depends on whether I'm south or whether I'm north.
Yeah. I had Christmas Day with Nicole, by the way. We have done brunch on Christmas, and it was a blast. So I have had a Christmas Day with Nicole.
I usually, if I'm home, I'll go in and help my barn guy, and then we kind of run around. And I love to see the horses and give them a carrot and, say Merry Christmas to them. And so anywhere we are, that happens. But I typically definitely give them Christmas off.
Yeah, I think that's more for us. Like I'm taking Christmas off. Love y'all. Well, in Florida, I think we rode because it was fun. Like we were just having fun. Like again, I'm with Nicole. When we're south and you don't have all the family obligations, like you have brunch with your friends. Like a lot of times we'll work. It's a little bit different there. But Megan, what do you do?
Usually Thanksgiving we take off. I love feeding them. Like that's my favorite. That's my favorite thing to do is feed them. And so I love it. There's no one in the barn. There's no staff. And it's my fiance and I, we feed on Thanksgiving. And then usually for Christmas, it's the same, but we actually go on a little ride together, which is always really special because he's not really a rider. He would like to be a cowboy, which I would prefer. I don't want him in dressage pants.
No.
And so it's just such a special time to share with each other. So I enjoy it a lot. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, both you ladies, Merry Christmas to you and your horses and your staff and everybody. And Nicole, how can our listeners find you online if they have any more questions?
Facebook on Harrington Dressage or Nicole Harrington. Either one of those is a great way to reach me and has my contact number as well.
Awesome. Well, Merry Christmas, girl, and we will see you soon.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
As horse owners, we spend a lot of time on the road. Let US Rider help keep you covered. Our equestrian motor plan offers fast, reliable, nationwide service from our highly trained roadside assistance team. 24/7 coverage for both you and your horse. Membership includes horse trailer servicing, towing, flat tire repair, even on dual wheels, battery assistance, and lockout service on any vehicle in your plan. We also have your equine companions covered with referrals for emergency vet services, farrier referrals, and emergency stabling assistance. Get peace of mind on the road for you and your horse. Join US Rider today.
Well, tonight we are thrilled to have Jessica Gaston. I call her my barn daughter because she's been with me for many, many years, and she's a trusted advisor now. Jess, welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
Well, happy holidays. This is our December episode, and we are asking everyone, what do you do with your horses during the holidays?
I think that's a great question. My biggest thing is horses can be horses, and it won't kill them. So if you're going for family or the weather's bad, have them have turnout and let them have a little downtime, which is fine. If you have a young horse like I do, and sometimes the downtime is not super productive, meaning they get very bored and tear apart their neighbor's clothes.
Always a great thing, right?
Yep. I really like to do kind of the extra fun things. So I was talking with a client of, hey, during the holidays, let's teach your horse to long line, or let's do some in-hand stuff. And why don't we teach him to Spanish walk? Or why don't we teach him a fun thing on the ground just for fun that he gets a reward-based system out of that's totally different than the normal dressage training that we do. I like doing stuff like that with them, especially the young ones with their curious brains, because it opens them up to learning. And it's no stress, no pressure. We're never going to go to a horse show and do it, right? So if they learn it, cool. If they don't, no worries. No one's going to get upset. And it gives them something to think about, and sit out instead of tearing up their neighbor's clothes. They can think about, oh, how did I get that cookie today? You know?
Yeah. No, I mean, I think that's right, because your guy, he's 3 turning 4, and he's coming, he just imported and is coming back to work. And that makes sense. You know, it's like, let's keep his little brain engaged. And I think that's super fun. And do you guys go to the barn on Christmas, or do you take the day totally off? What do you and Ethan do?
So I've always had this tradition since I was a kid, is I'll make apple pie for Christmas, and I take all the cores and the peels to the horses. I've always done that since I can remember. So I like going to the barn on Christmas if I can, if the weather allows it. And I'll go, I'll dress up my horses, I'll take pictures with them, I'll give them cookies, and I treat them like my family, right? Like, they don't have to work on Christmas. None of us are going to the Olympics tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like, end of the day, I want to enjoy my horses. And if that means letting them have a week off so I can have a life, that's fine.
I love it.
You know?
I love it. No, I think that's super important to remember. Like, you know, a little bit of downtime is not going to hurt anybody. And I'm with you. I love to go to the barn and give everybody kisses. Well, I live at my barn, so I like to be out there, and usually I feed breakfast. So it can be a little bit later start for everybody, or we try to take shifts with who's working that day. Or a lot of times I end up working, which is fine. You know, again, I quickly do the barn, and my husband even comes out to help. That's a big one. Yeah. He's pretty good about it. He'll come out and help, which is so sweet. And we kind of rock through it and have Christmas carols on. And I like that time too with the horses. And then my family's local, so I'm able to go and spend some time with them. So it's good. So I love it. I love the tradition of the apple. I never knew that. That's fun.
Yeah. It's just my little thing that I do.
I love it. And tell us,
my horses are family, so
yeah,
I like seeing them on Christmas.
And downtime with the youngsters. I mean, in general, do you have a set time that you give them downtime, or little time over Christmas, or a little, like, how do you do that?
Yeah, it depends on the horse. Like, I don't have a set rule. Some horses love being turned out, are super content not working, and I don't mind giving them a week to 2 weeks off when I need a break or vacation or holidays and stuff like that. Some are a little bit busier in the mind, right? And so with those types, I like to see if I can give them 3 or 4 days, and then maybe pull them in and do something fun with them, right? Like spend 30 minutes playing with them, and then give them 3 or 4 days. And that seems to keep their mind content while their body rests. And typically with the young ones, when I start them back, I'm obviously smart about it. I don't just pull the 4-year-old in and climb right on, right? Like, we're going to go and we're going to start the system again, and we're going to have a lunging day, and then maybe 2 lunging days. And then, okay, we're going to lunge, and then we're going to ride.
Yeah.
You know, so I start them back very systematically after they have a break. And I've never had a young horse come back worse for the wear after a little bit of downtime.
Yeah. I'm knock on wood, but you're smart about
anything.
Yeah.
They come back better.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think that's smart. Yeah. And again, I think that's kind of the consensus. We've had, you know, lots of different questions on this and professionals. And I think it depends on the horse, and then be smart when you bring them back. Don't just pop on them. Even maybe an older horse, just be careful.
You know, even the older trained horses, a lunging day after 2 weeks off is always a good idea.
You never regret lunging. Never regret it.
Never.
Never regret it. Well, Jess, we want to wish you and your husband, Ethan, a very, very Merry Christmas and happy holidays. And if our listeners want to find you online or they're in Colorado or out west, how can they get a hold of you?
Thank you. Merry Christmas, too. My best place to find me is on Facebook or Instagram. I am Majestic Dressage or Jessica Gaston. You can look up both and you'll probably find me. I hope everyone has a great Christmas.
You too. Thanks so much, Jess.
Well, everybody, we are recording this episode a little bit early, so Megan and I will have a full report in our next podcast about convention, our book club. We're so excited. This is our first in-person, and Megan and I we're co-hosting. Megan, are you ready? In person, in the flesh. And,
I cannot wait. I'm so excited.
We're going to really looking forward to seeing everybody. And so we'll have more book club news after our session. And I've got a trip to Denmark planned, so I'm excited. Yeah. So we can't wait to see you guys and keep you guys up and abreast of what we're up to. As always, you can find our show notes and links to today's guests on our page at horseradionetwork.com. Search Dressage Radio Show. Like us on Facebook, just search Dressage Radio Show. My website is maplecrestfarmky.com, and my email is reese@horseradionetwork.com.
My website is lindenhoff.com, and my email is lindenhoffllc@gmail.com. We'd like to thank our friends and show sponsors, Kentucky Performance Products. If you'd like to support our show and the Horse Radio Network, you can do that through the Auditor program found at horseradionetwork.com. Keep on kicking on until the next show. Talk to you soon.